Oh, hey audience, what are you doing on that fire hydrant? That's precarious. I don't recommend, it's the street name. It's my street name, don't look at that. Hey audience, what are you doing teetering on the edge of a trash can? That is not funny. What if you guys fell in? Oh, hey audience, what are you doing under that tire? What if they started moving? I can't stay mad at you, look at that face. Hey audience, what are you doing at the top of this hill? I had to hike up here just to get here. Audience? Hey audience, what are you doing looking through that fence hole? Just a cool view? Is that why? That's understandable. Hey audience, what are you doing in my glove compartment? That's weird. Audience, what are you doing in the poop bag? That's for poop, not audience. Audience? Audience! Audience! What are you doing built into a wall? Oh, hey audience! What are you doing on my dashboard mount that I just successfully installed? Huh? Audience? What are you doing balancing on a bush? What if you fell into that? You are sitting on a lot of things that you could fall into recently, and I don't approve. Hey audience, what are you doing looking at Gypsy? Audience, what are you doing perched in a tree, like a bird? Audience, what are you doing inside some sort of a children's containment unit on the side of the road, audience? Audience? Seriously? Are you really in that nest of bees again? Audience? Where's the audience? Nicely done, Needy. What are you doing in this air conditioning unit? It's locked. How can I even get you out of there? Audience? Audience, say something. Where are you? Wait, I think I can hear you. Wait, are you under the stack of papers? What are you doing in a brochure for a free lighter? Audience? Audience? What are you doing in the high grass? Don't you know that's where snakes live? Audience? Audience, you have got to be kidding me. Are you serious? Look, this is a no trespassing road. Audience? What are you doing swarming around the light? Like a mosquito? You're not a mosquito. You're an audience. I mean, I prefer that over yesterday with the trespassing incident that almost got me arrested. Audience? What are you doing smelling roses? What if some of you are allergic? That's a selfish thing for some of you to do if some of you are allergic. Audience? Are you swinging on this nice person's tree swing? What are you doing on a tree swing? You could so easily fall off of that. Audience? What are you doing? Are you taking shelter under a leaf, trying to hide from the sweltering heat? Audience? What? Are you leaning up against a Bel Air security sign? That's ironic. Armed response, okay. Audience? What are you doing looking at my shadow? Audience, come on. Look at my face. Audience? Audience? Are you watching ice melt? Are you just sitting there watching ice melt and it happens to also be next to a whole bunch of angry ants? Did you piss those ants off? Audience? Are you in a bird bath? Audience, that's for birds, not audience. You probably scared away some birds that needed a bath, desperately. You just sat there in their bath, just doing whatever you do as an audience. Which is fine, you guys really needed it. Audience? Did you pass out next to a Solo cup? Did you have a long night of beer pong? Is that what that is? That's not good for the liver. Audience? What are you doing inside my traffic violation envelope that I just got for parking at my friend's house without a valid permit? What are you doing in there? Huh? I totally expected to find a ticket in there. Instead, I find audience and a ticket for $60. Audience? What are you doing next to the propane? If somebody shot at you, you would explode. And there's people that are watching me next to the propane. I've been loitering for far too long. Run! Through this abandoned parking lot. Audience? What are you doing looking at that texting Asian? Don't look at texting Asians, that's rude! Audience? What are you doing behind yellow caution tape? Are you under construction or something? Audience? What are you doing behind some bounty paper towels? Audience? What happened to my face? Audience? What are you doing staring at that giant hedge wall? Audience? What are you doing on a football field? And it's before noon. I had to wake up before noon to find you out here. Audience? What are you doing in my wallet, audience? Are you trying to see how much money I have in there? Not much, audience. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't keep a lot of cash on my person in case audiences are snooping around in my person. Audience? What are you doing looking at that sign that informs you of the presence of another sign in the near future? Are you wondering what the point of that is? Me as well. Why doesn't this one say stop? There will be a red octagon in your near future. Audience? What are you doing sitting in that tree? Second of all, why am I in HD? Why are there always planes coming for me? Audience, what are you doing looking at me holding my... Okay, I just wanted to show you this. I wanted to show you Gypsy. This is where she hides when the neighbors are allowed. Take a look. Audience, what are you doing staring at the sun? That's not a good habit to have. It's a good habit to drop is what it is. How long have you been looking at the sun? Be honest. You know what you need? A good intro of solid darkness. Intro of darkness, then directly back to whiteness and blurriness. Audience, what are you doing in that brown paper bag I found on the side of the road, audience? I don't even know what's in there. Audience, what are you doing that close to a fence that says high voltage? Keep out, audience. What if I touch that? Alto voltaje no entre. Esta la estación contiene equipos eléctricos que pueden causar heridas o muerte. It will kill your face off. Audience, what? Are you balancing on that thing you fell off yesterday? What are you doing, audience? That's quite ballsy of you. Balancing on that thing that you fell off yesterday, remember? Audience, what are you staring at those hieroglyphics on the ground for? What does that mean, audience? Do you have any idea? Audience, what are you doing under a leaf? How do all of you fit under one leaf? All of you audience. Audience, what are you doing looking at my PIN number? Audience, what are you doing hanging out my window like a dog, audience? Audience, what are you doing in this folder of receipts that I keep in the drawer next to my door? Audience, what are you doing in an LA Weekly container, audience? What if somebody picked you up for free? Audience, what are you doing in an umbrella, audience? This is Los Angeles. This doesn't rain. What? It did. Audience, what are you doing looking at that stick, audience? You could get that in your eye. Poke your eye out, audience. Audience, what are you doing under a brick again, audience? Audience, what are you doing wearing my glasses, audience? Those are my glasses. Audience, what are you doing looking at this grape-looking thing on the ground, audience? What is that? What kind of fruit have you discovered, audience? Is that some sort of alien fruit from the future or the past? Either one of those would be equally weird, because it's in the present. Audience. Hey. Audience, what are you doing Googling Tobuscus on a Sony Internet TV? It's not even out yet. Audience, what are you doing in Times Square, audience? How cliche of you to be in Times Square. Audience, what are you doing staring at the executives of Sony at the launch party of Sony Internet Television? Awkward. Audience, what are you doing in the trash, audience? Good lord. Audience, what are you doing staring into that shopping cart? It says, warning, your child could fall out of this shopping cart. I imagine the same goes for audiences. Audience? Audience? What are you doing? What are you doing all the way over here, audience? And how did I press record from all the way over there? Boggles the mind. My boggling mind hurts. Ah! Audience, what are you doing next to the largest dog on the planet? The largest dog on the planet. Bigger than my head. Audience, what are you doing in the laundry bin of Hugo's Tacos at nighttime? That's so suspicious. Audience, what are you doing on the side of a bridge, audience? The bridge is awesome. By the way, audience, that's pretty cool, but hey, I don't see it, but hey. I always say hey to planes, totally normal. Audience? What's that you're looking at there, audience? What is that? Oh, punch buggy gray, no punch back, audience. Nope, no audience punch back. Owned? I just owned your face. I punched you right in the retina, didn't I? Ouch, that's smarts. Audience? What are you doing staring at the catering truck, audience? Good heavens. Pointing at each other. Audience? What are you doing looking at Brett the intern? You're supposed to be looking... I'm a little jealous. I'll be totally honest. This is Brett the intern. Audience? What are you doing inside of a wooden pole, audience? That is a weird, strange place for you to be put. Audience? What are you doing reading that inspirational quote? First of all, you're far too close to be actually reading it. Second of all, what does it say? Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Oh, Eleanor. Audience? Audience? What are you doing behind a thorn? A thorny vine? The only way is to push it directly down with my finger instead of just going above it. Why'd you get yourself in a mess of thorny vines? And I had to lean over that, and I'm allergic to nature. Audience? What are you doing at the vet, audience? Did you just drop Needy Dog off at the vet so I wouldn't have to come here? It's too late, I'm already here. But thank you, audience, that's really sweet. Audience? What are you doing staring at the white picket fence of your dreams, audience? Is it because you've been dreaming about those pickets for years? Oh god, let's get away, this is really loud. Go, 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 go. Oh, it's the sun, oh god. Audience? What are you doing in a drainage pipe, audience? That's for drainage, not audience. What if something was drained? Audience? What are you doing in my Baja Fresh bag, audience? Audience? What are you doing on the hang-up section of a payphone, audience? That is a dirty, old, out-of-order payphone. Audience? What are you doing looking at me riding on Heelys? Like a year-old man? That's right. I got some sweet, sweet nectar Heelys. Audience? What are you doing in that water filter thingy? Audience? Ugh. What the balls were you doing? Audience? What are you doing on this bus bench? Are you going somewhere? You got someplace to be, audience? Audience? What are you doing staring at that post-Halloween smiley skull basket on a tree, audience? Audience? What are you doing on the stairs, audience? There's not even a backing on the back of that stair, audience. How are you balancing on? That's impressive. Audience? What are you doing passed out next to some Red Bull in the forest, audience? Did you pass out drinking Red Bull? How does that even happen? Audience? What are you doing looking at Monty Iceman's rental sign? Are you just looking at his name and laughing? That's what I was doing too. That's so funny that you were there doing the same thing. Audience? What are you doing inside this McDonald's cup that I found on the side of the road? Audience? What are you doing in the recycling, audience? What if they picked you up and recycled you into another audience? Audience? What are you doing on a shiny black reflective surface, audience? What is that? Oh, it's a table that's missing some legs. Audience? Where'd you get a Call of Duty Black Ops Collector's Edition, audience? Did you get that for me? Thank you and why are we outside? Audience? What are you doing on the ledge of a breathtaking mountainy view, audience? Audience? What are you doing on a mountain of snow? Why is it already snowing? It's artificial snow. Audience? What are you doing at the top of the same hill I just went down on a tube, audience? Aren't you bored? Alright, one more time. Face first. Let's do this. Audience? What are you doing looking at those pretty purple flowers? I'm just kidding. I know what you're doing. You're admiring those pretty purple flowers, and for good reason. I would do the same, and I did before I pressed record.